Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Varinheim. Before we get started, like always, doing a quick shout out to our sponsor, D&D Beyond, an online digital toolset for DMs and players alike. I recommend if you need to keep track of your stuff to give D&D Beyond a nice look. That being said, last session we ended with our season finale for season 1. The players had made their way to Fort Rylock to essentially deliver a message and look for a somewhat of a lost friend. Upon their arrival, the fort was pretty well decimated. Bodies laid strewn throughout the courtyard, and all that they found was the bloody pelt of Sylphir of Garrix and his amulet, leaving a stalker rather upset. And that's where we'll pick up today. So let's bring him in. Hi, everybody. By the way, no Tanithil today, sadly. Anyway, so you guys are currently at Fort Rylock, a rather large fort, might I add. The front and back, the front side of the fort, I just want to clarify, near the river line of that separates the Kolvik Kingdom and the Ashelin Kingdom. The stone wall on that side has been completely devastated and blown open. Inside the courtyard, which y'all came in on the southern side, as mentioned before, there's hundreds of bodies strewn throughout of both Ashelin soldiers and what appears to be a opposing forces. Amongst the carnage, y'all do find Zilphir's pelt, which is covered in blood. You also find Garrick's amulet, which Stalker, upon touching it, you actually got a vision from what appears to be of Garrick's past, of his wife being murdered and his daughter being taken. And the last part of it was Garrick running off in the distance with the pelt of Sylphir chasing after these individuals. These individuals, you did notice, had patches on their shoulder, giving somewhat of identification. It was that of a blood, the head of a wolf that appears to almost be howling with red markings, like as if covered in blood to a certain extent. Some of the, out of curiosity, is that your mic? Out of curiosity?
Probably. Maybe
Oof.
if
It
it's
was
a
picking up for
fan.
just a moment, but then it stopped.
Yeah, just making sure. Uh, as I was saying though, the some of the bodies that are in Fort Rylock have that exact same mark, that patch on this on their shoulders.
And currently I'm killing everybody in the cart as the food we ate on the way here did not agree with me very well.
Oh, hold up.
Apparently.
We
Oh,
just
we
lost
lost a
Oh,
Gibbon
gibbon.
off of everything.
Oh. Ooh.
Should
Technical
we
difficulties? Give us a minute.
probably.
She probably ran out of Banes to help her out here. Boons. Boons, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Words are hard. Already starting off rough today.
Games are helpful when they're targeted at you.
I've got plenty.
oh,
So-
wise guy. Um, If someone leaves the Zoom call, it kind of shuffles all the cameras a little bit. So
Yeah.
when we do get given back, it will adjust accordingly.
Yeah,
I'll
Otter,
probably
you're
have
like
to move
positioned
them.
right behind Vita's actual face, and like I'm like it's like there's like your beard and like my chin in your square. It's great.
Here,
And like
there we go.
I'm just like half cut off here. It's great. Just gonna like lean back. Give it a minute. Just shaking the beard there, Otter. Ayana's forehead is in trail. Apparently, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Did we get a message from Given?
I will
I
send a
just
message.
messaged her. I'm waiting to see if she responds.
I like how the only one that is not messed up in any of this is the one who's not here.
Yep, because that's a filter over the cameras.
So, that being said, kind of can't progress until Cricket gets back. Rip,
Yeah,
because you're
prefer
taking
not
care of the
to.
cameras there, Stalker.
Yeah.
Well,
All
we
right.
could always
So,
put all of the MIA pictures up for now
yeah.
and proceed with the intro, just with the cameras off.
Aaron
All
has
right.
received a bane for the cameras not working.
Oh, jeez.
You want to roll a bane there for him there, Otter?
Sure.
Does that have to be
Wow.
effective right now, or can we like totally just like delay that one for when he's here?
You know,
I'm gonna keep it until he's here.
it would help if I actually rolled a d20.
I like this.
That was a 10.
That was a 10.
Ooh.
Yeah. Stalker. Is there any way we can just get the MIA screens up so we can?
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
So his next
Oh,
healing, he receives 1d4 less.
We
Sorry for
can
your
for the
luck.
most part.
The only one that won't be able to is Trail.
Ah.
He's close enough.
You know what I could do? I could just like kind of like squat just a little bit down, and
That
kind of
works.
can see. Yeah. Be like, hi. Okay.
I guess
So.
we'll continue and then just fill her in on what she missed.
Yep, that'll work. All right. So, like I was saying, the northern side of the fort, which is near the, which is towards the river line, separating the Ashland and the Kolvik kingdoms. That side is completely destroyed and blown open. The south side is also, but that explosion is actually more outwards, to the southern end. You know what I'm saying?
So the north end is blown inwards and the south end is
Yep.
blown outwards? The walls?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Hundreds of bodies lay strewn throughout the courtyard, that of Ashland soldiers and opposing forces. Those opposing forces have, some of them have that patch on the shoulder for identification purposes of the ones similar to the vision that you just seen.
Given you're back. However, I need you to try and pop into Zoom again because you appeared and then disappeared. There it goes.
Okay. Sorry, my internet just said goodbye.
Oh,
All good.
no worries.
It's
Fuck
really
everybody.
I figured it would mess up the cameras. I was like, come on, don't do
it's
it.
really
And it's
not
like,
comfortable sitting
goodbye.
like this to keep my forehead out of
Oh.
this.
Oh, it's
Hey.
it's
Ayana's
fine.
the DM now.
Nope.
yeah. Diana's
Okay,
DM
I'll sit
now.
up straight again. All right.
Roll for
Apparent-
initiative.
Okay, apparently Diana's
Literally.
DM now. All right.
Roll for initiative. Boons to Fida. Boons to Stalkira.
Kira.
Akira.
That's never going away.
No.
Absolutely not.
So.
Boons to Emerald. Boons to Cricket. Yes.
Oh no. It moved everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Except for you,
Yup.
because you're the host. You know, it wouldn't be the start of a new season without some shenanigans.
Yup.
I am Emerald.
Well, if we go into combat, be prepared because we're going to be swapping around who's who.
Thank you, Given, for creating a beard out of nothing.
That
Oh
is
gosh,
amazing.
no, I was in
Hey, I
such
was
a
totally
connection,
in
I can't
your
hear
square there. Is
anyone.
that I totally should have been like, all right, we're good to go.
So, back to what I was saying. Emerald's in a cart, and you just got
Or, I
done
guess.
seeing a rather disturbing vision or image of a past event.
And
And to kind of tie in the ending from season 1, Emerald's stomach is not too happy with the food they ate the evening before and is currently assailing everyone who is not out of the cart with some horrible smells.
You are
Cloud
not
kill.
allowed mineral soup again.
You know, I agree.
And given the fuck, I think
Fucking.
we lost her again.
Oh no.
Can we just go cameras
I
off
hate
and continue
your internet.
on?
That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do for the time being.
Yep. Camera's off.
Yep.
If
We'll
you-
adjust trail to be in frame.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zara, I swear. Anyway, that being said.
Where were we? Walls blown out. North in, south out.
Yep. Yep.
Severa, immediately upon coming out of that vision, is looking around at the armor around us, the leather armor, and searching them for any tracks and anything on the persons that might give more information as to who these people are.
The search for tracks is a survival, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll survival for me.
That is really good. 25.
All right. So as y'all, I'm pretty sure some of y'all see Stalker just instantly like looking around the fort, and you're trying to decipher the tracks, and you're able to track. That's a lot of tracks. You're able to follow them out of the fort, not towards Kolvik, surprisingly. It actually goes out the southern end. And from what you can tell, it actually makes its way into the woods to the south by about, I would say, about a mile. Follow these tracks.
Not following them yet.
Okay.
She's also going to reach out and touch Sylphir's pelt and cast Detect Magic and try and figure out how to summon him, because she doesn't. She's seen Garrick do it, but doesn't know how to do it.
When you cast Detect Magic, a aura appears that of white and green. And you get a sense of conjuration, if I'm not mistaken. But the actual, like, how it works, it doesn't give you any sense of that.
Yeah, to her lack of surprise. So she's going to fold him up and tuck him into the top of her bag.
At this point, I'd like to get out of the cart and go over to where Stalker is because clearly there's something going on over there. What is it, Stalker? Have you found anything? This is terrible.
This is Garrick's stuff, and that's Sylphir. I don't know where he is, but these patches, she points at several of the leather armors with the blood-stained wolf head. These people killed his wife and stole his daughter.
I see. And this is Sylphir? I'm gonna cast Prestidigitate onto the pelt to clean it up.
As you do, the blood just kind of lifts up and just dissipates.
Do you think he's in this pile of bodies?
I don't see him. There's a lot of tracks leaving
Where do they go?
south.
What is even south of here? I thought this was the point of the land,
I
of
don't
the
know.
peninsula.
I don't know, but
I'm gonna pull out a map and I'm gonna look and see what else is possibly south.
If I am not mistaken. There we go. Gonna move you guys so you actually can get a map. I don't know if this can actually get brought up in chat there, Stalker. But as like you begin yeah, I got it in roll 20. So as you pull up the map,
Okay.
you see that to the south there's
Hold
not
up in a sec.
There's a few other towns.
Yeah.
Trail will, when I get back home, we'll figure out getting the map as a drop in on the overlay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'll
just
switch us
I'm
to
out
the
of
combat
town.
window in a second so that everyone can see it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome.
But as like you're looking to the south, you see that there's multiple different towns that they could have moved towards. There's like Timber Ward, Never Rock, Shade Coast, and then Dawn Vault is more towards the southwest.
And it looks like they're headed straight south, or does it look like they're headed in a specific direction?
The tracks, so technically this is the north end, and that's where the explosion is blown in. It's blown out to the south end, and the tracks go south, and then after a while they turn more towards the west, but then that's where the tracks kind of get lost. So
So it looks like they're headed a little more towards like Dawn Vault then.
correct. It goes south, and then after y'all kind of like follow the tracks for a minute, it turns southwest.
They're dividing the continent. They broke a strong point here. They couldn't break Aston, so they're cutting it off. What is even in those towns? What is in Dawn Vault? I'm just gonna keep looking at the map and kind of studying it.
So chat knows where we are.
At this point, Emerald will make their way over. This doesn't look good.
This is not good.
Is that Garrick's pelt?
Yes. Apparently the amulet was found too. No sign of him though. But haven't gone through any of the bodies here. There's hundreds.
Um, Now the question is, do we go back to Aston and report this? Or do we follow the trail and hope to find Garrick?
There seems to be a trail that left and has headed out through the south gate here and seems to be heading westward ish. I'm just looking at the map here trying to understand like what is it they're doing? I think they're trying to cut Aston off.
No. Either it's a different military force. Does it look like the same type of force that they were fighting in Aston? If I look at the bodies?
The bodies that you see, some of them look like the Kolvik forces that you have seen kind of strewn throughout the in the city, but quite a number of them are of the individuals with just the patch of that bloodstained howling wolf.
Do we recognize the patch as anything? Have like any of us seen it before?
Someone will roll a history.
Sure.
I'm new to
A
this area,
natural
but why
20.
not? I know shit.
+4 for 24.
With a +2, that's a 4.
Sadly, though, Fide, you still don't know anything about this. But from what you can gather, though, from like looking at the patch and knowing at least how some organizations work and everything, that this group is most likely not military based entirely.
So are they more like mercenary then?
Possibly, yes.
Oh. It might not be the same group that was assailing Aston.
No.
We can't be sure if it's connected.
Stalker was saying something about this group had something happened with Garrick. He Stalker she recognizes this symbol.
She's gonna hold out the amulet. Touch it.
You're gonna have to hold it a little bit lower. I can't quite reach.
I'm gonna
Lowers
reach out
it.
and I'm gonna reach
And
out
I
and
will
touch it
reach.
along with we'll both just
As
kind of touch one side of
y'all
each.
as y'all touch the amulet, y'all see the same vision that Stalker saw of his wife being murdered, his daughter being taken, and he's seeing the individuals with the patch on their shoulders running off with her, and then Garrick giving chase with the pelt of Sealfear, him carrying, and with him with his bow.
Garrick would not have left the pelt behind.
No. Night Stalker's not here either.
Do we go to Aston to warn them, or do we follow them?
Fuck Aston.
Aston is what, couple days travel north of here?
A little over a day.
That's
How
a
fresh are
whole
the
day they get
tracks?
further away from us.
The tracks,
And
I
like
would
how
say,
fresh are the corpses? Like how long ago did this happen?
the corpses are actually starting to decay.
So it's
They
been a
look
few days.
possibly a week.
Yep. So we're already losing ground if we take another day to
Yeah,
head back.
3 to 7 days of decomposition. I mean, Garrick did. You do have to remember, you guys were, due to the hag stuff, lost quite a few days, and Garrick went straight to Aston. And then
Mhm.
they stated that Garrick went down there almost a little about a week before you guys.
My vote would be finding Garrick.
I
Same.
agree. We've already lost several days. There's no help to be received for Aston. They have to figure it out themselves. They've got some high important person there. They can talk to them. That person can clearly see what's going on there. Garrick is first and foremost. We're not
Agree.
going to catch up to that other group in who obviously has this much of a head start on us.
And meddling in their war doesn't really connect us to them.
Grab
What do
what
we
you
stand
need.
to gain by jumping into a war we know nothing about?
If this fort could not withstand that group, what makes us think the five of us can? Let's find
Mhm.
Garrick. And
And-
maybe deal with some of what is happening here.
Salvage
And
anything you
those-
need. We'll leave soon.
Tanithil kind of pipes up and he just goes, I do want to kind of inquire on something.
Hmm?
If this group actually attacked Fort Rylock, maybe the individuals at Aston can at least give us a proper direction, a point.
To what?
You know where the if you know what the group is, and
Their tracks are
You
right
can-
there.
Yeah.
okay, that's great. That's the tracks of them.
That's the direction Garrick is.
Okay.
My concern is if they're already 3 to 5 days ahead of us, we're losing another 2 days going to Aston and back.
True, but at least we going to Aston and find and inquiring about these guys. At least we can have some sort of idea of what we're dealing with. I mean, we're not just charging
Or I
in.
could just scout them out. I will not go to Aston. Fuck them. Grab what you need. Let's go. If you don't want to come, that's fine. I'll go on my own. And Saphira starts collecting arrows and quivers and sticking them in the cart.
Why would you do that to me as a DM? Hundreds of
Tanithil.
bodies. Do you realize how many quivers
Not-
and arrows?
Not all of them, just like 2 or 3 quivers. So there's like 60 arrows.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Tanithil.
Assuming they're
Yes.
enough intact.
Yes.
How far can Fowl travel from you?
How far can he actually travel? Where's Tanithil's?
I don't think there's a
My-
distance limitation. Just
My
a-
knowledge on familiar is you can stay in contact with it over a period of space, but after that, it can keep going. You just cannot contact it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I can send one anywhere.
What if
Just
we
won't go.
what if we kind of meet halfway in this and we send Fowl with a letter to Aston of what has happened here and ask about the insignia, and then we travel. I mean, I don't think we'll be able to return a message from Fowl, but maybe. I don't know how it works.
I mean, like if we take a note, we can actually write something out to them and then just tell them to just send us a note back with the familiar.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
works.
would at least be a way where we can cover both sides of this without returning and losing the time to go to Aston.
Yes, and in all honesty, we did do the job that they asked. We did come here to check in on Fort Rylock, and we did. Maybe we can actually have them send us some help.
I'm gonna pull out a paper and like the thing of ink, and I'm gonna start writing them a note of what it is we have found here. There are no reinforcements to come from here. There's bodies everywhere. It's been decimated. We're continuing on ahead to track a mercenary group that is clearly part with them. Can anyone else think of anything else that needs to be said to them?
Describe the insignia from the mercenaries.
I'm
Make
gonna
sure
take
to
one of the insignias off of one of the mercenaries' clothing with one of my daggers. I'm gonna cut it off and I'm gonna stick it in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they give us a reply and send it via the bird.
Yep. Information.
I add that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without getting a response, this whole thing maybe just turned into a foul experience. So I'm gonna get banned for that.
I believe that was a pun.
But anyway, that being said, the tracks do, if I'm not mistaken, head towards west towards Dawnvault, but not entirely sure if that's where they actually continued going. So we'll follow those tracks. Okay, that being said, and he just kind of he summons his familiar, and familiar just kind of like lands next to you there, Fida, and just kind of like waits for you to attach the note and everything.
Patience, little one. Let's just make sure that everything stays intact. And I will seal it up.
As oh sorry.
And I'll tell the bird, make sure to get it to someone of importance. I'm sure Tanathil can instruct you better who would be the best. I didn't pay attention too much to who was important in in Easton. And I will
Probably the
attach
head
it to
guard
the
we
bird's
were discussing things with. The feisty one.
As you attach everything, Tanathil just kind of takes the familiar, kind of held it up via on his like arm, and just speaks Elvish to it real quick, clearly giving it instructions, and then just kind of like lifts
Out
his
of
arm up.
curiosity, what does he say? As I speak Elvish.
Essentially, he just says, be swift, take this to Clayton, and come back when they attach a note to you." And we'll be heading west of this general direction, southwest.
Yep. It's a familiar, can find him.
That is true, but
Yep. While Fida is finishing this, I'm just going to take that like 10 minutes and aimlessly sift around the area and see if I can find anything of interest. Any kind of items or clues that might give us better direction.
roll a perception or
Perception or investigation?
investigation. Actually, I apologize.
Okay. I'm worse at that.
Oh. This is why you never correct what the TM says to roll first.
Investigation is the better roll for it.
Well,
because I am actively searching versus just looking around.
true.
It's only a +4, but I rolled a 16, so it's a dirty 20.
As you're looking through the fort and everything, you're just trying to find stuff. You actually find a roster of individuals that are supposed to be at the fort itself. And as you're clearly combing through it and looking through the names, there's only about 25% of the force actually supposed to be there.
So of the group of reinforcements that was supposed to be there, it's only about a quarter of what they thought was going to be there.
No, what I'm talking about is the actual full garrison of Fort Rylock, which is supposedly numbering about 5,000. There's roughly a little over, like I said, a couple hundred bodies like dead. It's like 1,000 total when you go looking through all the fort, like inside the barracks and the quarters, the eating quarters, and the armory and everything. You're just finding more and more bodies all throughout. There's only about 25%.
25% of the total amount of people are dead or are still alive.
No,
Are
there's supposed to be
present.
1,000 bodies there's 4,000 like missing.
There's 4,000 bodies missing.
There's not the amount that's supposed to be there.
Okay. I will relay that to the group.
Okay.
So, to catch Given up real quick, now that your internet has finally decided to stop being an ass.
Cricket, what you have missed. Group has decided to track down Garrick.
So Cricket probably would have grabbed the amulet. The north side of the fort is blown inward. The south wall of the fort is blown outward. There are lots of tracks leading out through the south. Garrick is missing. There is a patch of a blood-stained wolf head that is currently howling on a lot of the armor of the bodies that Saphira has pointed out. These same people, whoever they are, this group, killed Garrick's wife and stole his daughter, which you would have seen.
Slow down. Holy crap, slow down. Oh, man.
I can recount all this for you later as well if you
Whoa. Yeah, there's bloody heads and everywhere, and there's tracks going south.
And
Why are
Otter
they all
just-
beheaded? A bunch of people are beheaded?
No,
No,
the
It's
But
a
insignia.
symbol.
Beheaded?
It is a badge,
The
a
wolf head.
symbol of a wolf howling, but it's
It's
like a
a-
bloody head.
It's a symbol on some of the armors, and it is
Oh.
a blood-stained, howling wolf head.
On all the armors?
Some
No,
of them.
just
On-
some.
Yeah,
On...
a good portion of them, yeah.
I've kind of piecing together this might be a mercenary group because it was also in the vision.
We sent Tanathil's familiar with a letter to Aston, and we are going to follow the tracks to hopefully find Garrick.
You're saying it could be mercenary?
So, Emerald, you're saying there's like 4,000 bodies missing here?
I'm not exactly counting all of the bodies here, but
Understood.
judging by this roster, if they wiped out the fort, there's a good chunk of people missing. Like, this is not 10,000 bodies.
Did they get taken? Like, the people were being taken at Aston? Back across the river? I'm gonna go and like
I
actually
have
look
no
around
idea.
closer to the river and see like what's going on over there.
As you go and look towards, you actually do see a ton of tracks actually heading towards the river.
Emerald?
When you actually like are looking at it, at first it looked as if like those tracks were actually coming in, but like as you kind of like get a second look, it's like tracks placed on top of each other.
Like hiding numbers type tracks?
More like group of people coming in, group of people coming out. That type.
A huge force went through this way. I'm gonna point it out to Emerald so he can take a look at it. I found some of our missing people here.
So this mercenary band
Hold on.
maybe.
Before we continue, sorry to cut you guys off. Given, are
Yeah.
you, where are you at in catching up?
I'm still kind of stuck on the symbol and the walls. Now there's 4,000
I'll
to
start
10,000
at the
people.
end. They're
okay,
jumping
okay.
ahead
Let
to more
me-
stuff you haven't had yet.
Stalker,
We're
let
good
me
trail,
actually,
let trail.
Yeah, go ahead.
let me do it.
Yeah.
Given.
Mhm.
Stalker found Sylphir's coat covered in blood and the amulet. This amulet is a magical item that allows someone to see a past event of Garrick's. The past event is of his wife being murdered and his daughter being taken by a group of individuals with the head of a howling wolf that's bloodstained on their armor. That patch matches quite a few number of forces currently in the fort itself. As Stalker was looking around, he found tracks that head south and then turn southwest towards the city of Donwald. Now, Fida also did find tracks leaving the fort towards the river that separates Ashelin from Kolvik. While she was doing that, Emerald also located a roster that he relayed to everybody. There's roughly 5,000 names. Of those 5,000 names, only 1,250 people, 25%, are actually present inside the fort laying dead.
Hold on. Do you need him to pause for a second?
Oh man, it's okay. I'll just rewatch the stream. It's okay. Just
But are
keep
you
going.
but are you following though for the most part?
I
What's going
think so.
on? Okay.
I
The
think
group
so.
Okay. The group is sending Tanithil's familiar to inform Aston of the situation and to let them know that you guys are tracking down Garrick.
Mhm.
Now, that being said, those tracks I was referring to there, Stalker, you saw those tracks. I just wanted to, I would just want to say the ones that were leaving south stood out more because the tracks were of smaller numbers, so it looked as if maybe it was the force that was just leaving. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't overlapping each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you are missing there, Cricket?
Many things, but I will just rewatch the stream.
Okay. Is it?
All right?
Caught
It's
up
fine.
enough?
But are you at least caught up enough to where you can follow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that being said,
Okay.
okay.
So
But yes, Fida,
does it look like these are drag marks going towards the river like we had seen in Aston? Or is it just footprints?
I would say there are some drag marks, yes. There's some drag marks, there's some wagon marks, there's horse marks. Like it looked like the tracks blended in well enough that it looked as if it was the force entering. But now that upon a second look, it looks as if a leaving force as well.
My whole brain is just like they walk single files so that they can't
To hide their
find
numbers.
their numbers. My brain is just shouting Tuscan Raiders.
Mine
was too.
I will lightning bolt you so hard.
I'm glad my brain wasn't the only one that went there.
No, it's just a mass amount of footprints just
Oh yeah,
kind of crossing
no,
across each other. So it
I fully get you. It was just the way it was phrased earlier when Fida asked. My brain was just like Tuscan Raider.
That's why I said it.
Oh, but no. So
I
these
will say
mercenaries may be working with the invading forces.
I do want to say that as you mentioned this there, Fida, I'm pretty sure Stalker, you would be looking as well, correct, at these tracks and trying to get a better look.
Yeah.
As
So
you
come
do,
over and look too.
yeah, as you are looking through, you actually notice because the fort's not too far actually from the river line.
Do it again.
You find areas where boats have been like pulled up onto the shoreline, like river boats that you would like row across. You actually do find. Oh, lost Cricket again.
Can we go on a short break?
Yep, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, guys. We'll be back.
Have you ever fought a dragon and stormed its mountain lair? Have you ever killed a vampire and seen the evil in its glare? Have you ever sought adventure
And we're back, everyone.
Hi, guys. Letting y'all know due to technical difficulties, we're going to be off cam for this one. And if things do persist, we will have to cut the stream short for the evening. But with that being said,
We're going to kind of ride things out and see where we end up for the night.
pretty much.
Seeing as it's a very important plot point, we want as many players here as possible, and we'd rather have...
Stick with us and let's have some fun.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, that being said, Stalker, you notice, as I was mentioning, areas where boats have been pulled up on shore, markings of such. Fida, you've noticed that the tracks, there's sets both coming into the fort and drag marks and wheel marks leaving towards the actual river and actual footprints themselves. When it comes to the amount of people missing, like I was saying, over 3,000 bodies are missing from this fort that should be here.
While we are looking around the fort, does detect magic proc anything in the near vicinity?
I would say no.
Okay. For the next 10 minutes, however long it's active, 9-ish around this point, Saphira is going to be walking around seeing if she can detect anything with it.
Okay. I would say, yeah, I would say you actually don't find anything. Actually, yeah, you would actually find one thing. You do find a compass that's magical.
A compass? Okay.
Yeah.
She will pick it up and look at it. School of Magic?
It's enchantment, I would believe. The compass is gold with silver lining on the top. The reader is that of also of a silver color.
Okay.
If anyone wants to join me, I'm going to start heading in the fort and looking around to see if I can't find any more information.
I am absolutely joining in for that.
Me
Okay.
too.
I'm going to... I'll just pocket the compass for now. I will mention it to Tanathil, but pocket it for now and go with everyone into the fort. Suggest him to join us.
He just follows suit inside the fort. So,
Inside are the bodies strewn about mostly of one side or the other, or is it still a mix like outside?
it's a mix from like outside. From what you can tell, this battle was just all over the place. The soldiers were trying to hold the barracks. They were trying to hold the armory. They were trying to hold essentially the captain's quarter area. Uh, it's all strewn throughout. We're basically just trying to hold the line, and clearly it was rather brutal. You see a lot of bodies that have multiple wounds, and some, from what you can tell, it's like they look as if when they could have possibly been subdued, instead they were just executed to a certain extent. Like one body, for instance, you see a guy, he's got a arrow in his leg, his arm is has a rather large gash in the side, and you see that his throat's just been slit.
The majority of the deaths in here, would you say they're more martial or is there any like arcane type things? Like is there any like magical type damage or you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope.
Like you do see, actually, now that you mention that, like outside, for instance, I do want to actually point this out. The walls being blown inward and then outward, you do see what appears to be arcane marks of fire, essentially. And then on the inside, you do see individuals with stab wounds uh, that are rather strange. Essentially, like it doesn't the stab wound doesn't match any weapons of such like of a pike or an axe or just a sword. It looks to be of makeshift, possibly maybe a spike with multiple prongs. So in this instance, it could have been like an ice spike, essentially.
Mhm.
Uh, so when it comes to that, yes, there is markings inside and on the bodies. From the inside, like you can see that doors have been blown open and destroyed.
As we're moving through inside, I'd like to keep an active eye out for anyone that may still be hanging on to life,
Mhm.
if
Mm-hmm.
if any.
The
Yeah.
bodies inside have already been decaying for quite a few days.
Mhm.
As mentioned previously, uh, between I would say 5 to 7.
Yep. I just figure since we're inside, there's probably more places for people to hide if they were wounded.
Yeah.
So just as like a overall keeping a eye and ear out.
Does
I
it
would
look like any particular place was a target, or just like the destruction of it was like just the target? Or was there anything that the guards appear to have been
it does not look like anything
protecting the most?
it does not look like anything in particular was targeted specifically. It looks like it was just spread. It was just go everywhere, kill everything, essentially. But nothing in particular looks targeted specifically. I mean, the armory has definitely been emptied. There's that.
What
When
about
it
the other buildings? Like what other sorts of buildings are in there?
um where uh where like the officers would be,
Like
that
their
area's
quarters?
yeah, their quarters, the officer quarters. Like you can clearly see that it's been raided. Like you can see like documents have been grabbed and taken of ones that were of importance. You also see that weapon cases have been busted open, weapons have been taken that could have possibly been of use. You also see inside the officers' quarters. There's also like bookshelves and everything, and books and everything. Certain you can tell that books are missing, maps are missing. Uh, that roster that was not. Um, when it comes to the soldiers' barracks, just in general, you can see that personal belongings were left behind, like journals and letters and everything. But weapons of the soldiers, equipment that would be of use has been stolen and taken.
Cricket,
Eh,
this has been on my mind for a while. Do you know how to use a bow or anything ranged?
Um, some weapons, simple, maybe. I can try. Let me try.
Are there any Saphira's gonna keep her eye out for any bows, short or long, doesn't matter, and see if
Mhm.
she can find any for Cricket to try out.
Yeah, I would say you do find a couple of short bows for her to use.
And she'll grab a few that look intact, not damaged from whatever chaos happened here, and hand one to Cricket. And when they have a chance, when they're not inside, to try it out.
Mm, I'll look at monks. Yeah, proficiency in weapons is simple weapons and short swords, so I don't think I'm proficient in bow.
I think short bow is simple.
Oh yeah, okay, it is simple. Rage. I totally missed that. I saw crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought that said crossbow.
I think there's a simple one that's also a crossbow, but I don't remember which one.
There is a simple crossbow. I saw short bow and my brain changed it to crossbow.
Okay.
Wait, so what happened?
He was letting you try the bow.
Saphira grabbed a short bow for you to try when we're outside
Yeah.
of the outside of the fort.
Do I have arrows?
Yeah, yeah, you got plenty of arrows.
She's been collecting some.
She's going to what do I see inside where I'm at?
Inside where you guys are at.
Mhm.
If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, you guys were traversing through the barracks of the
Currently,
soldiers,
yes.
and yeah. So as I was mentioning, you're seeing like personal belongings of like letters and journals and everything. Maybe like the occasional blanket of a soldier that was a personal artifact, or clothing of theirs, but not necessarily armor itself. Armor, for the most part, if it's not damaged, has been taken. Armors that were damaged in the fight have been left behind. Weapons that have been destroyed. Majority of that's been behind. You do find a few that are, like I was mentioning earlier, that is in good condition and everything, but
Not
yeah.
everything could be carried, but most of it.
Right.
Most likely.
It, for the most part, this fort's been liquidated.
Cricket can use bow. But it's been long time since taught. Cricket, remember? She's usually good about it.
If you need more instruction, Cricket, I'm pretty good at a bow. I can likely help you.
Teach me well.
Go ahead.
Inside?
When we get outside, better ranges.
Okay. Suit yourself.
Y'all make y'all's way outside.
I'd actually like to do some more stuff inside.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a bunch of
Nice.
letters and journals there. I'd like to take a look at like just some of them, see if there's anything that could give some insight as to what's going on here. Was this a repeated attack? Was there anything try and get like
Surprisingly
just a
enough,
bit more of an understanding of this?
I would have
surprising-
been helping you do that. That piqued my interest as well.
Same with the
surprised-
maps that are there, like the ones that are still left. If they're different than the ones that I have, I'm taking a look at those because I haven't. And anything that's different than the ones I have, I'm gonna stick in the map case I have.
So the maps that got left behind are coastline of the Ashelan Kingdom along the border of Kolvik.
Okay, so very
what you-
regional here.
Right. And from what you can tell to the map that you currently have, it's some of those maps are slightly outdated.
The ones I'm looking at, or the ones I have,
The ones that you're looking at.
are outdated.
Yeah, some are, yes.
Okay.
Now the personal effects of like the letters and the journals and everything, all like of the journals and letters that are current, they all stop at a certain date. None actually mention the attack. It's as if, from what you
Anything
can
of
tell,
attacks beforehand, though.
no. A lot of them actually talk about sending and getting resources. Wow. Sending and giving out reinforcements to Aston, and then the troops commenting on the situation up near Aston. But for Rylock itself, wasn't really receiving any combat itself. Occasionally they would see scouting parties, but the scouting parties were small in nature. Everyone some of these journal entries, because as you can tell, like letters, the letters don't actually talk about Aston itself. Like the letters all states Aston's fine. It's in decent condition up there. Where the journals say a completely different situation. And the journals mention, as I was going to say, scouting parties that are of small nature of like 4 to 5 people. And that the frequency of which has been increased, but no actual attacks on the fort itself.
So they did a one. Okay. I'm gonna talk with Emerald here. With Emerald, it seems like they did a one-shot attack here. They scouted it and they did one overwhelming attack to destroy this place.
I mean,
Like they planned this. They wait.
Oh, this is clearly planned. There's no
They
chance that
knew-
this is not planned. They knew what they were doing.
But
They
they
waited
know
and they planned.
they clear out. They took.
They
Seemed
they would
quick.
send troops out to Aston to go and help there, leaving themselves a little shorter on troops here, but drawing troops out. And then they attacked and horribly overwhelmed this place, clearly.
from what I know of tactics from home, usually if you're going after a fort or a reinforced position, a singular, concise strike is going to do you better than harrying them over time.
Which makes sense.
They can prep for the long haul, but a single overwhelming strike will usually be more advantageous.
This seems to be one of the more like between Aston and this fort here seem to be the more reinforced areas. There's several
very different
towns.
tactics than seem to be used
The ongoing
targeting Aston.
It's an ongoing siege at Aston, and I think they're pulling the people here to help reinforce that so they can overrun Aston now because Aston cannot get reinforcements. Aston's been cut off now. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh, and we've sent them word that they should have it in a day. I don't know if familiars get tired, but I assume flying it can travel pretty quickly.
Here's hoping.
This too clean.
What do you mean?
Could be someone on the inside. Give information.
Everything in the journal says that they were scouting for a while. They were trying to get information with how many people were here, weak points, things like that. Is there any the wall that got blown in out of all the walls, does it seem to be like a larger expanse of wall? Is there any like structural benefit to them having targeted that wall?
It was just the side of the river was on.
Okay, so it was convenience.
Right. By the way, Tanith was going to talk to you there about Emerald real quick, and he's just going to say that, considering that the flight speed of an unladen swallow is between 30 to 40 miles per hour, we can look at about 25 to 35.
So that translates into how long is it going to take for your familiar to
That
get there?
depends. Is it carrying a coconut?
Did you put the lion in the coconut? Did you shake it?
To be fair, it probably a few hours to get there.
Okay, good.
Hell, not even that. Probably just 2.
I just like for your familiar to get back sooner rather than later.
I agree.
What does it look like with like ratio of bodies from to Ryla bodies compared to wolf head peeps? Like
To enemy
is it,
ones.
Yeah.
The almost a 4 to 1.
Of
4
which side?
bodies of Ashland to 1 body of the mercenary group or Kolvik soldiers.
They were caught unaware. Does this look like they were caught unaware?
Are you asking as FIDA or as
I'm
as
asking as Vita. I'm actually talking to Emerald here. Emerald
Oh.
has understanding of battle tactics.
Does it look
Little?
like it as well? Does it, while hearing this out loud, does it look like that as well? Trail. I'm asking on Cricket's behalf.
Yes.
Yes. Cricket's going to pipe up. Yes.
By the sheer number of one over the other body wise, more than likely they were caught off guard.
Very overwhelmed. And it looked like, with the equipment stolen, it looks like many not be able to prepare. They're able to take so many things without many soldiers having a chance to put on.
With as many soldiers being
That's
taken.
usually the benefit of a sneak attack is your opponent doesn't have time to prep.
If this many people
We-
were taken, they're going to be sent against Aston, I would think.
It
Well,
could be
if
night
they're heading,
attack. Depend on meal prepared. What was prepared indicate what time of day. If they ate.
Actually, is there any way to be able to tell what time it was when this attack happened? Can we
I would say not, because
things
there's
have been
like,
rotting for a time at this point.
yeah, things have been rotting at a time. Clearly, the soldiers didn't write about the attack at all, so it happened most likely suddenly. So, yeah, I mean, most likely due to the fact nothing was talked about right before sunup, most likely, but that's more just a logical guess, I would say,
Mhm.
for you guys.
It'd be a good tactical guess more than anything.
the Ashland soldiers that are dead, do they have armor on? Is it like kind of hastily donned or
I would say that the armor is, some do have armor on, some don't. It's hastily on, so they were definitely caught off unaware.
it was a surprise attack? It's a very
Yes.
surprise attack.
Yes. It is. That's why to see from inside they know schedule. They study, they watch for a while. Or someone inside studied them to give information.
And by the look of the marks of magic through this place, it's not a far guess to say they might even have the same ability as Tanithil to have something that could watch for them from outside.
Definitely a
Inside.
possibility.
It could be either or. We don't have enough information to really guess past that. All we know is it was very well orchestrated.
Uh,
Shame there's nothing we can speak to or no one we can speak to here.
well,
Hmm.
well,
Let's make
Cricket. Cricket read in book a ritual. Visions of the bygone. Takes out the book hastily and opens it up and starts pointing at it. It says a ritual that allows the user to see a past event of a specific area. It's ancient. Fida, look. I'm going to copy paste the thing. And I'm just going to put it in Varinheim. However, its components needed to cast ritual require articles that could be found at location. So journals, of armor of wolf head, silver, maybe something.
Question
Here.
would be, can any of us cast this?
Also
Tanithil,
requires a sense of an individual that was also
Mm.
present.
Can I
That-
see the book and take a look at it, Tanithil?
Tanithil like looks at the book with you. And he's just like, I could cast this. I don't know how it works, so I will be completely blind in it.
But it say it tacks on mind of the caster.
Ah, well, you know, good thing I've spent quite a few years in school.
But we need
I'm-
someone that was there, that was present.
If we can figure out how to get Sylphia out,
Yes.
out of
I-
Pelt, Sylphia
I'm-
was here.
I mean, I just want to
It says essence of an individual.
essence.
Essence.
There's
Well, then how do we
over
get
1,000
essence?
bodies here.
Can we get essence from
Course.
them for this?
Tanithil literally
Essence can mean a
walks
lot
over.
of things, so much as like blood, piece
Tanithil
of
walks
body.
over and just grabs a snatch of hair off of a dead body. He's just like, this would work.
Okay.
Oh.
It seems I still have much to learn about casting.
Cricket likes to read. Maybe this help.
Tanithil, if this starts to take a toll on you,
I won't know the toll until after I've done it.
Well,
That's how this works.
I'm not sure if I can cast this ritual, but I think I might be a bit hardier than you, Tanithil.
Boulder
Can
parchment
you
shears?
help? Can you help each other? Like, combine the mind?
Can the
I
three
look
of
at
us
this
work together?
ritual and see if this is something I would be able to
I
split
do?
the tax between you all.
I don't know if the tax would actually share between us. We could attempt. In all honesty, what may end up happening is one person actually just ends up being the caster in the end, and it's a random. It's random in that aspect because it could just be literally someone started just slightly quicker than the other. This could be a single person casting it. It could be dual. I'm not sure.
This is me bringing it up because I don't want to cast a taxing spell on a character that's not with us this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if this
I'm
is a
feeling the
spell-
same way.
If this is
Right.
a spell Emerald can cast, they will put forward doing so.
You act as if the DM would just let something bad happen.
Hey, this is
You
just
know
thematically,
what? Give me a little
they're
bit
not
more.
here.
I know.
don't want.
My other thoughts are having a chat with Tobor and being like, what's the potential damage from something like this?
Mhm.
I mean,
Do you want me to make an Arcana check or something to see if this is a spell I can do from
I
this
want
book?
Fida and both Fida and you to both make an Arcana check.
Okay. That I can do.
18 total.
Natural 20 for 22.
Oh, nice.
You're more confident that you could possibly do it than Fida.
Sure.
Tanithil was gonna say, I can assist or try.
Yeah, like,
As I have experienced working, kind of reaching out to spirits, it might be best for me to try this.
It's entirely plausible.
Spirits?
All right, I will do what I can to aid you with this.
I'm
We
gonna.
should go to main battlefield.
Sure. Let's head outside. I'll take the hair Tanithil and head head out there and sit down with the book in the field in the courtyard area.
As you kind of look at the book and everything and begin drawing out the ritual symbol, he placed the hair of the individual at the center. Tanithil instructs you there, Fida, to just kind of stand opposite of Emerald, and he stands. Basically, Emerald's in the center, you're on one side, Tanithil's on the other, and Tanithil begins kind of saying an incantation to try and bolster Emerald. And as he's doing it slow enough there for you, there, Fida, that you kind of join in.
I'm just going to unclip the skull from my belt and place it on the book as I'm casting the ritual.
Okay. I need you to just roll an intelligence save.
An intelligence save.
No advantage from their assist. Sadly.
Nope. No, you're fine. I only have a +1. Come on, baby. I don't trust that die. Let's do this one. I'll take it. I'll take it. That's a 17 + 1 for an 18.
Ooh. Mm.
That was my arcana.
As they begin as you begin casting the ritual there, Emerald, everything just goes really dark. You lose sight of Fida, of Stalker, of Cricket, who are just watching you. The bodies of the soldiers in the fort just disappear. And it's as if time kind of rolls back for a moment. You see, for an instant, a flash of light, as if a ball of fire just destroys the front northern wall. And as it does, you can see a couple of mages just instantly shooting out firebolts at individuals, and then another ball of fire. But as it does, it would go in your direction, and then all of a sudden, the image of this vision that you're trying to see begins to just blur. You try to focus harder. Fida, you and Tanthil are trying to cast y'all's incantation to keep assisting Emerald, but as you're doing it, you just feel as if more energy is kind of pulling towards you. Emerald, as that image gets really hazy, all of a sudden a blinding light just kind of just right through you. You see guys, Emerald just collapse in the center of this ritual, completely just unconscious.
Saphira immediately rushes into the circle to check on him.
He's
Cricket.
breathing.
Does it look like he's taken any damage?
No. Not in the physical sense.
Okay.
Emerald, like that blinding light, it eventually fades and you actually do come back to the group. You just see Stalker, Tanithil, Cricket, Fida all just kind of like standing over you. you have a very just hazy feeling. Like you're just kind of like lost in a void as you stare at them. Exhausted.
No.
The
Saphira's-
ritual,
Go ahead.
Panthel just kind of like looks and he goes, "Did you see anything by chance?"
Saphira is in the middle of rubbing roughly on your sternum to try and get a response out of you of any kind. It
You can
is not pleasant.
You can speak there, Emerald. It's not like you're like you're actually awake now. It's
Yeah, I'm
you
checking
just
your
lost
pupils.
conscious. You lost consciousness for a brief moment.
Fuck are you guys?
Emerald,
You're up.
are
You
you
know who they
okay?
are.
I'm Cricket. That is who the fuck I am.
Do you feel this, Emerald?
No.
And she starts doing it again.
Please stop. That hurts.
Good. And stops.
You alright?
That was different.
Did it work?
What happened? I should take a moment to regain your senses.
Yeah, give me a second. I feel like you're like smothering me here.
Yeah.
Crickett's gonna get the water out.
Saphira backs
here,
up,
take some
just
water.
looking at herself like.
I'm gonna go and kneel down beside Emerald
Yeah, I got the water out.
and
I'm handing
offer
over
my
water.
hand. Would you like to some help sitting
Nah,
up?
just give me a second. Everything's all blurry. I can't see straight.
You need glasses?
Oh, please
No,
give him
the-
old man glasses.
The end of that ritual messed with my vision, and it seems to be kind of carrying over. Give me just a minute.
Mhm.
So
And
what
Take
you're
your
saying,
time.
just going to lay back on the ground
Mm-hmm.
and lay there for a minute and see if my vision starts to focus back.
Would you like us to get you anything?
Cricket's gonna go in her pocket and take out her
Some
little chicken.
space, please.
You wanna hold my chicken?
Here.
what
Let's
you're
give
saying,
him some space. Let's just take like 3 steps back, everyone, in
My
space.
head really hurts, and you guys are all over me. Give me a minute, please.
Panthel like raises his hand and just goes, "I just need to ask one question." And he just turns towards Emerald and he's like, "Did you see anything?"
I'm trying to sort that out for myself. I did see something, but everything's kind of hazy right now. Give me just a second. Does my vision start to come back?
Yeah, like it's you're essentially just kind of like having a little bit of brain fog. Like everything's just
Yeah.
kind of like you're there, but it's like you could go back to sleep if you wanted.
Cricket's gonna go open that book and go to that part to see if it says anything else, anything about what it can do to the caster.
The book does mention that there's a mental tax. It essentially mentions that if the caster is strong enough, that the mental tax is not that bad, but the weaker that the person is in trying to hold the ritual, the worse the effects. The effects that you can see that Emerald is suffering from is not that bad, which means the ritual was being casted somewhat successfully. It's just the last part you gather because of him mentioning that last part of the ritual was not able to hold on to it properly.
Mhm.
So, from what you gather from reading the book, he's most likely fine. He's just going to need a rest. He's just going to be tired for the day. But it does mention that the mental tax is unknown on how far it can go.
Mhm.
Still laying on the ground. I'm not going to get up yet. I didn't see much.
But you did see something.
I saw the wall blown apart by a massive fire,
Right.
followed by a hail of magical attacks, and another large source of fire came through the wall as it broke. It burst into a absolutely blinding light, and that's where I got ejected out of the ritual. It's very disorienting.
So it worked until the end.
So it seemed to work somewhat, but we don't have a lot of information from it, and I'm really tired all of a sudden. Like,
We can attempt it again.
Not with him. It says the book. It says if caster is strong, the aftermath, the
I'll be-
mental task is lessened, and it is unknown how far it can go, depending on what is considered strong or weak of caster.
Emerald, would it be an idea for you to go to the cart to just lay down and get some rest?
I don't think I'll be doing that again today.
No, I won't allow.
No, absolutely not. Like you've done
No,
enough
you're
here.
done. You're done.
Would you like to take a rest? Like actually just go and rest in the cart?
I'm going to move out of the circle I find myself in and just chill.
Okay.
If any of you are going to try this again, I'd rather be close by.
Understandable.
I
You
will
want something
get up,
to eat?
walk out of the circle, and plop my ass like 10 feet outside of the circle and just kind of chill.
He's just like, I'm done, guys. Like that ritual.
Cricket's going to run to the cart, and she's going to get some pillows and a blanket. She's going to trot up to Emerald and make a little spot for Emerald to sit. And pat the pillow. Here, sit down. Sit now. Sit down here. Your
And
tailbone
our-
will hurt.
Fine.
Candle just turns to Fade and he's like, I don't know if I want to attempt this. I don't
We-
think I want to attempt this at all.
Have received a hydrate.
Hydration!
Hydrate!
You can't see us, Wretched, but we're doing it. I promise.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely did hydrate. Water was delicious. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I needed that after that spell.
I handed you my water skin if you need a drink.
I can see why you wouldn't want to cast this, Tanithil. This one is questionable. Do you think the knowledge we can gain from this is worth trying it again?
Finding out what happened to Garrick, I mean, there's that.
I assume Saphir couldn't pick out Garrick exactly's footprints among the thousands of footprints.
Yeah, you could easily, yeah, a gnome's footprints is not hard to decipher from.
Oh, I mean,
Also potentially lost in the horde of other footprints.
that's what I mean. I
Right.
assume she couldn't pick them out with the
Oh.
horde of footprints that they
Well, now that, yeah, I agree. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Theoretically, it needs the essence of a being that was there.
Yes.
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 If we're looking for Garrick,
We
Yes.
can use his amulet.
and you guys are going to, I don't know if the amulet would count as essence. It needs a piece of the person. What if we use part of the pelt?
That's
Yes.
what I was just thinking.
Me too.
Because that would be directly around Garrick at the time.
I was just
Stalker,
thinking that
can I get a
also.
few hairs from that pelt? I am going to try this ritual.
I have another idea. Saphira's
What is it?
going to go find where she found the amulet, his broken bow, and Sylphir, and see if she can find any blood on the bow.
Might not
Yes,
be
that-
his.
Might not be here.
Does it have to be essence of just one being who was there, or could essence from several who were here
It
be
says an
used?
individual.
Has to be an individual.
Only one.
Okay.
Better to
I think
try the
Sulfur
thing.
would be our best bet.
Yes,
Mhm.
would
And
agree.
she'll pull him out and apologize to him, not knowing if he can hear it or not. And use...
I leave the taking of the fur off of there to you, Stalker. You know
Yeah.
Sylphir best.
And she will pull out a small, like, hunting carving knife and just carefully slice off the end of a few furs. And then hand it over.
I'm going to take them in my hand, take a deep breath. Tanathil, can you please help me set this up and make sure everything is right?
Can I help
Hey,
with?
hey, Fida.
Yes.
And we'll hold up my horn and just do like a toot toot. You have bardic inspiration. It's the most half-assed, like, I'm way too tired to put effort into this, but like, you got this, toot toot. So you can add a d6 of bardic inspiration to an attack roll or saving throw or ability check if you so you need.
Okay. Awesome. So, I'm gonna go make sure the circle is correct, make sure everything is done right for this ritual. All the while taking a lot of really deep breaths as I get myself ready for this. And I'm going to take the book, read the passage a few more times just to make sure I understand exactly what it is I'm doing. Tanathel, please keep an eye on me during this just to make sure everything goes okay.
They'll just kind of sits there and just. If you're interested, I could. We can attempt to do the ritual together this go around.
If you are all right with that, that would be favorable. Otherwise, I do take. I am okay casting this.
So how we'll do this then? He sets on one. He helps with the ritual circle with you, and stands on one side. And he goes, "Well, I want. We gotta do it at the exact same time, okay?"
All right.
So he turns to Emerald, or he turns to Stalker and go, if you can, just give us a. Is that? Oh, it's Cricket.
Oh, your fan's picking up a bit.
Given your fan is coming through again.
Yeah. Had to
What?
turn it down. Anyway,
I literally
he
don't
just
move
goes.
it.
He just goes. Stalker, if you can, just give us a countdown, okay?
But please just everyone stay back. Give us space for this.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. And like,
She'll go
I look
ahead.
at Tanathil and I nod. All right, let's do this then.
Yep. And Cricket went to go get another pillow and blanket.
On start, I will count down 3, 2, 1, start. Ready? And she will begin.
as you get to 2, Tanathil's going to instantly just start doing the ritual. clearly way ahead of Fida. And is just beginning the incantation.
What was that face?
As Aaron said it'd be okay. Aaron said it'd be okay. 80% chance. 80. Anyway.
Did
Fucking
he
gambling
already get
odds.
inspiration?
No, he didn't.
No.
No, I got the inspiration.
I asked Aaron, and he was like, "Yeah, sure."
Rita's just
Anyway.
gonna slap the shit out of Tanithil
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Saphira,
Like as he's doing the incantation, he goes right into the same process as Emerald, but in this time he's looking through Sylphir. Everything goes black. Everyone kind of dissipates, and he sees dead bodies just kind of strewn throughout. Garrick is on his knees. His arms are just kind of like next to him, just kind of like resting. And you just Tanthil sees a individual. He can't. The vision's already starting to go blurry as he's trying to focus, and the person is unable to be deciphered. And he just sees the guy walk up. He can tell at least it's a male. Walk up to Garrick, grab Garrick by the hair, and just snatch his head back. And as he sees a knife come to Garrett's throat and begin the motion to like slash his throat, it just instantly goes white. And you'll see Tanthil just instantly collapse as well.
I jump out and I catch him.
He's unconscious for a few minutes.
doing the same sternum
I-
rub. That shit
I
helps,
let-
by the way.
I let him down to the ground
It does.
gently so that he doesn't have like a hard fall to it.
Like as like you're like just rubbing his sternum, he just kind of like grabs your hand and then just is like, okay, you can stop that, please.
FYI,
just-
that's a good way to test if someone's conscious.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Also, the
he-
pressure point is like in between their neck and the shoulder.
He's
Yeah.
conscious. Let's give him space now.
Cricket setting up a pillow and blanket next to everyone.
I probably should have kind of sat there for a minute before attempting that a little bit more. I
You
apologize.
fucking damn right you should have.
I am sorry.
We'll deal with that later.
But if it's any consideration, he just kind of like turns to Stalker and just freezes. I did get something. I
Yeah.
don't know the end.
Well,
Did you see Garrick?
I think I saw Garrick's death.
What?
Was it over where his things were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what I saw.
Okay.
Can you tell us? When you're ready.
It was right after the fight. It looked like he looked tired. He looked wounded. He had clearly stab marks in his shoulders. He'd been fighting, it looks. And then an individual that by that point the vision started getting blurry. The person grabbed him by the hair and put a knife to his throat and began the process of slitting it, but that's when the vision gave out. But I didn't actually see his death entirely.
you hear Saphira exhale very loudly as she turns away and walks towards one of the intact walls. And then you hear, I'm very quiet. Let's see if that helps.
Yeah.
After she walks over to the wall, you hear a very loud cry of frustration and the crunch of stone as Saphira begins to pummel the wall with her maul in a rage.
Cricket,
Yes.
can you take Stalker and see if you can find Garrick's body over where his things were found?
Yes, I want to see if there is spill
If
of
the
blood.
Yes. I'll stay here and keep an eye on these two and make sure they are doing okay after this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Song.
No response for a moment. Just a few more pummels.
3 more. Hit.
3 more.
Then listen.
It's like, you get 3 more, and then you get a quick.
You get a pause out of that.
Rations, man.
You get a pause out of that. There's a visible hesitation mid swing, and then a crash, and then
Just real confused for
you
half a
see,
second.
and then you see the fur begin to settle down, and her chuckling a little, very quietly. And just kind of drops them all to the ground. Not letting go of it, but like, loose grip kind of lets go with one hand and let it drop to the ground with the other.
Look at me.
I lost another one.
How do you know?
And she turns around. Slowly. It's pretty good odds.
Are you sure
No. But
there is no body? Benedil did not see all way. Only saw the beginning.
I will search.
Sylphir could have stopped. Yes. Fida say we search. Blood. We need to look. Can you smell? No, shh. It's okay. Put that rage into action. Come on, let's go look.
Tanathil, did you see Night Stalker at all?
No, I didn't.
A slim chance, but we'll look in a moment. Help me find some stairs to get to the top of one of these towers. One of these walls. The higher I am, the better.
Tathel's like, Fida, can you help him with that? I'd rather not move.
Yeah,
He's
you
just-
stay here.
Yeah, he's laying down like Emerald. They're both done.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure that they're both comfortable.
I will search for
Cricket. Okay, you go start searching. I'm gonna look around at the different buildings and try and figure out which one's the tallest. Shouldn't be hard to find. And the building that has the tallest tower, I'm gonna go into that building and find the stairs up.
I would say, by the way, y'all been at this fort for a while at this point. About 8 hours. So, I mean, y'all have looked through bodies, y'all have done 2 rituals, y'all have investigated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a small
It's been a minute.
place.
As y'all get to the top of the stairs and everything, y'all look off in the distance. Y'all see a small couple pillars of smoke start rising in the air.
From where?
To the south. About 8 miles.
About 8 miles south.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is when
It's
we
about
get
3.
up to the top.
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
It's late late in the afternoon, so probably about 4 to 5.
Okay.
So at the top, she'll notice that, keep it in mind, and she's going to turn to Cricket. Everyone else is down below, right?
Cricket's down searching bodies. It's just you and
I'm
me up at the
searching
top.
for
Oh, it's
his
it's
blood.
you
I go
and
back to
you and me.
Yeah.
I go back
Okay.
to his belongings to see if there's a pool of blood, a track of blood, anything.
So she's going to turn to you and say, I don't know how sensitive your ears are, but you might want to cover them. This is going to be loud. I'm not actually going to do it because I don't want to blow everyone's ears out.
Noted. Then I will cover my ears. Probably go down a few stairs.
She's going to take
Earmuffs, children.
a
Earmuffs.
deep breath and howl as loud as she can to carry as far as she can and call out and try to get a response from Night Stalker if he was within earshot.
You don't get a response.
After a few minutes of waiting, shakes her head. Not surprised.
Let's go back down. I'm gonna go check on Emerald and Tanathil. I suggest you go and help Cricket see if she's able to find anything. Check that area where, in the surrounding area where Garrick's things were found. At the very least, if he is gone, we can give him a proper burial.
If he is gone, well, we'll tell the others when we get down there.
Yes.
And
Anyway.
go ahead.
The 3 pillars of smoke off in the distance, but when y'all come downstairs, actually a lot more noticeable at this point.
They're stationary? They're not
Yeah.
moving like big
They're
light
not
torches
moving.
or anything?
It's stationary.
Does that look like a camp set up over there? Docker, do you think that's a camp or something over there?
Probably. Any luck finding a body, Cricket?
No,
Just
no body.
that's that. No, not a body. I'm not looking for that. I said I'm looking for blood.
Oh, that's right.
A pool of blood at the spot where
Yeah, you do actually
belongings
find.
are. A big pool of blood.
Yeah. Rather large.
Stalker, you've been in fight with Garrick before, yes?
Yes.
Are you good with smell?
Not especially.
Can you distinctly smell difference in blood? Recognize his?
I might. I changed a little bit. But
What about other form? Wolf form?
it's not real. The ritual wasn't finished. I only partially changed. Before I lost them too. It's just an illusion. I've been able to do it since I was a kid. my hearing got better, but I can try.
Try. It's alright if you can't. But still try.
There's. Well,
Does it smell like him? She's gonna indicate to the pool of blood.
You sniff it.
she's going to try something that I haven't tried on stream yet. And she's going to use a rage, not for combat, but to try and summon the strength of her wolf spirit.
Totem.
And try to use it to bolster her hunting abilities and see if she can distinguish his smell.
Roll a perception
Okay.
with advantage.
What the fuck? 2 19s. So that's 25.
The blood that you found does smell of Garrick. And it actually is headed towards the three fires off in the distance.
She gets up and follows it for a moment before the rage wears off again.
Okay.
It's that way. And she points towards the fires. That's his blood, but it carries off in that direction.
I just want to go ahead and say it's like Tanthel's line. He's like, I'm all for going off and chasing after it. I'm all for it. I'm just letting you know I'm not in the best shape. And neither is Emerald.
No. We can't. Not.
I'm fine. I'm just a bit tired.
No. Too tired.
No,
That's too much
it's
blood.
one day.
Tanthel just begins getting up and he's like, I'm still useful in combat.
You two need to rest for a little bit first.
If it's 8 miles, we can rest in the cart.
If it's been 8 hours, has there been any sign of Fowl returning?
Yeah, I would say Fowl's actually starting to fly in now. You actually see him off in the distance.
Does Fowl have a message attached to them?
He does. It's like he kind of lands. He lands actually on Tanithel's chest because Tanithel laid back down again, and he
The
just
message
lands.
we get just says, well, fuck.
I'm gonna go over to them and I'm gonna ask Fowl, can I take this from you? Tanithil is not in the best of shape right now.
You just hear the owl just make this noise as it turns and looks at you.
I'm gonna reach out slowly to get it, and just very slowly reach out to get the letter.
As you kind of open up the letter, because if I'm not mistaken, y'all did inquire about the group as well, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm gonna actually thank Fowl for that and give a bit of a ration to him for helping.
As you open the letter, it's from Clayton, the officer over in Aston. He says, thank you for the information for Rylock, even though it's in a more hasty manner. He says if y'all are heading towards Dawn Vault, a Montila Darrington would greatly appreciate y'all to tell Dawn Vault to send forces to Rylock. Y'all's time would be compensated for such an endeavor. The group that y'all have run into. It's a mercenary group from Kulva Kingdom, they state, that does raids over across the border into the Ashland Kingdom. They steal individuals and take them across the border to Kolvik. What happens to them over there, they're not entirely sure. The fact that this group was part of the attack on Fort Rylock is somewhat concerning because usually they are medium-sized groups, no more than about 12 to 15 at most, in raiding party size. But they do know that the numbers of this group is rather large. They don't know the person who actually is in charge of said group because they've never been able to get a member alive to actually give up that said information.
If we pursue Garrick at this camp, that's too much blood. He's probably at that camp or wherever the rest of these bodies are, if they're not all there. But he's probably a zombie as well.
These Kolvik. They sound bad. But
This mercenary group sounds bad.
is Kolvik mercenary group?
Holvik is the
Or-
country. Just like this is the Ashland Kingdom.
Oh. Well, have who are tired? It's been a long day. And Cricket's
It's-
still curious.
We need to figure out what's at those camps, I think. Or what's at that camp 8 miles away.
It
Well, we should at least start heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
before we leave, Cricket, check one thing. In Creighton, Cricket remember, Kilfeth had big office with many things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this place have captain office. Maybe info there.
Y'all have already
More
gone
than
through the.
barrack.
We
Y'all
did
have
go
already.
through.
Yeah, you already
We
went
went
through
through
the
the barracks.
and the
Not the
captain's
barrack.
quarters, and the captain quarters didn't have anything on the group itself.
Oh, I must have missed
They-
it then.
They took all the information. They took everything that they could that would probably be pertinent. Bookshelves were missing specific books.
That was when you were having the internet issues given. That might be why.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assumed that it was at the
Never
time that you were
mind.
talking short bow. That you were talking short bows.
It was.
The only
Yeah,
things
well,
that were
sure.
left were personal, were like personal effects, like journals and things. And
I'm
Emerald
just
and I
gonna
went
start
through
getting
those.
the cart
and-
ready.
Yeah, Emerald and I went through those. There was nothing at all that indicated there was any forewarning of this. They covered themselves very well with it.
Are there any archery targets anywhere? Or
I mean, yeah.
anything that would work as a makeshift
Crap, I forgot you
target?
gave me a bow.
Yeah.
I
Cricket,
should
before
probably have
we
that.
leave, real quick, try hitting those targets over there with the bow.
I'm gonna go check on Tanathil and go and help get the cart ready.
How
Edl's
many
getting up
arrows
and
do I
help.
have?
I'd say
You
you
have
have 20
plenty.
arrows. Yeah, you have
I have-
plenty.
There's like 60 in the cart, so
Yeah, so you can grab like 20 for your quiver.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to.
Anthil gets up and helps get the
Yeah.
cart going.
Yeah, we're ready to go by the time you're done with the bow.
I'm
I
gonna
just
grab
wanna
the
go ahead and
pillows and
say-
blankets and toss them back into the cart, like dust them off, prestidigitate them, and put them back in the cart.
Yeah, the horses, by the way, just chilling and resting, so they're good.
All right. Rick is gonna fire at some. I don't know. Where hit? What aim?
Just that over
Not
there.
us.
What?
Just that over there. She'll point over at like a hay bale or something.
Okay. All right, I'll roll.
They're good.
Short
Uh,
bow.
That'd be plus dex.
Ah.
And
Well, I got a
proficiency.
natural 20 on it. Whatever it is.
It hits dead center.
I think you're good.
I'm a little rusty. But Cricket, remember.
That's pretty good for Rusty. It's pretty damn good. I think you're alright.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Tanithil, and we'll finish getting the cart ready. And Tanithil just goes, "Are y'all ready to go?"
Yes.
Tanithil hops in the cart and he's like, "I am chilling back here. Emerald, I'm pretty sure you want to join."
Cricket,
I'm good.
drive.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Cricket driving?
Cricket, drive.
I'm gonna hop in the
Animal
back of
handling
the.
check.
I'm gonna hop in the back of the cart.
Animal handling.
I will be up front.
Where is
With Cricket.
animal? Okay.
Top.
That is a 17.
Cricket just grabs the reins and just begins moving the cart, just booking it towards the fires. Handling it like a pro.
That's a good teacher.
The forest has a small trail that you can see that the wheel tracks from earlier followed, and you guys begin making y'all's way. Do y'all actually just drive straight there, or do y'all stop eventually, or y'all just want to, like I said, keep going?
Oh, definitely stopping outside the perimeter somewhere.
Well, I mean, are y'all just gonna go travel the 8 miles? That's what I was meaning.
Mhm.
Okay. As you guys are making your way through the trail and everything, y'all stop, I would say, about 100 yards away from the fires, so they don't hear you guys coming up. At this point, it's about 8 in the evening.
How long did we travel for?
A few hours, 3.
Okay, in that time, I'm going to use my 2 sorcery points, create a first level spell slot, sack a second level warlock spell to get my sorcery points back, and take a short rest.
Anthel does the same. He just
For the short rest, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You don't get sorcery
As-
points.
You guys get about 100 yards out. Tanithil just kind of goes, "We can wait till morning to get to see what this camp is, or we can go now. It's y'all's choice."
That depends on how tired the two of you are.
I can go. I can keep going.
Can we at least
How far
scout
are
it?
we again? Yeah.
I mean, we could scout it. I kind of expected that.
Of course.
I can scout. Cricket can.
Same.
Stalker.
I'll join you.
Alright.
We need to see at least what's in there.
As you guys make y'all's way, I need y'all to make stealth checks.
I'm staying in the cart with these two.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure they're not stealthing anywhere.
Tanithil's going to join in to just help see along, to kind of help spot things if needed.
Cricket will actually not let him join.
What?
I'm gonna tell you
Tanithil
straight
has a
up.
familiar for that.
Yeah,
Cricket
that's
will
right.
not let him get out of the cart.
I forgot. I'm not used to mage users. I forgot he has a familiar.
Oh, say, she better go mother hen on his ass.
Trail.
He gonna sit down.
I just remembered
What's
we
up?
got a party boon ages ago, and I think I
Yes,
forgot
we
to
did.
tell you about it.
Because you
we've just been
punned.
doing we've
Role
just been
play.
doing RP stuff, so hasn't really
Yeah,
come
I'm
into
trying to
play.
get combat. I'm like,
2 hours ago.
Yeah,
What did
you
you do?
punned, so we got a party boon.
yeah, I was
Yes.
trying to like get to combat. I'm like said, but I don't know. I don't think we're getting it for tonight, sadly. But that being said,
Didn't expect me to pull that out, huh?
so the bird, that and a couple other things. The bird, he's like the foul. Just kind of flies up and begins flying over the campsite and everything. Who else is gonna go check out the campsite?
Me?
Or is okay? Cricket, can I get a stealth check?
I'm
And
making sure
Saphira?
these
Yes,
two
I
stay in the
need to do
cart.
math.
Okay.
25 stealth.
Okay.
Fuck, I forgot what I rolled.
Do you need a stealth check for the owl? They have a +2, I believe.
And dark
Hold
vision.
on.
17.
Yep, the owl would have +3 to stealth and advantage on perception checks relying on hearing or sight.
I had them roll a stealth check, so there's that.
Okay.
Uh
I was just pulling up their stats so you knew what to add to it.
oh good. Okay, I'm gonna go
And
off
they
that.
do have flyby, which means they do not provoke opportunity attacks when moving past creatures.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Part of why
about
owls are
birds.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Owls are cool.
Yes, they
Okay.
are.
Not paying attention. And not paying attention. Okay, we're good though. All right. Cricket, how far away from the camp are you getting?
Oh, well, until I can get good view, probably
Uh give me a distance
50,
from the
60
campsite.
feet.
50 to 60
50,
feet.
60 feet.
So
Uh-huh.
okay.
Staying in
You're up.
brush.
Yeah, but I'm like I have to make sure that you don't like trigger anything like so that's why. Yeah. Alrighty. So as can y'all see the map?
Let me go look. Oh. Oh, it's way too zoomed
Now
in.
I
Hang
can.
on. Let me zoom out.
Let's zoom that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I can zoom. Whoa, I'm in
as you
a-
guys are like looking at the campsite and everything, you do see that the individuals like do see like kind of pay attention to Fowl who's kind of like flying over ahead and they just kind of just like pointing at him occasionally. He's not being very he rolled a 9 total.
Yeah.
Distraction.
+3 gave it 9 total. But anyway, they just noticing the bird. You guys see quite a few individuals kind of hanging around the campfires that are setting up. Y'all also notice that these guys have that armor that I was mentioning earlier, and that armor that's kind of like sitting off to the side has that patch on it. At least one of the armors does. This group is rather small, no more than probably about 10 total. But there's a few of them that is of somewhat notable concern. Larger in size and strength, it appears, and then a couple of them you can see are controlling the flames, cackling, and you see them playing out the battle from Fort Rylock, it appears, with the flames itself. Discussing. See a couple of individuals doing this. You can see that a few of them every now and then are kind of like looking up and looking around at the perimeter, but they're not too concerned with it. And they'll, at this point, calls back as familiar, and he kind of relays everything there to you, Fida.
They've
On
got
what he
two
saw.
casters. Or they've got casters. They do what I do. I'm not nearly as maniacal though.
Yeah.
So about 10, you say?
I would not be against attacking tonight if it wasn't for the casters. What's Stalker and Cricket doing? Because y'all are up at the campsite seeing this.
Yeah, where? Like, what direction? Like, where would our tokens be? Like, why?
I mean, in all honesty, like I just kind of pictured you guys were just kind of like hanging around in the brush, like you guys can just be like,
Probably moving around the camp as a whole.
right,
Yeah,
to get an
getting a
idea.
view of what we
So,
can see.
circling.
yeah.
Are there any horses or carts or anything?
There is a couple of carts. I will say that. Let me get something to kind of represent those carts. I apologize. I'm going to use. Okay, where's the thing to draw? All right, so
Where's
there's a
Tober
couple
when
of-
you need him to just like bamf in the middle with like some ridiculous thing?
there's a cart right here.
Don't you bring that evil into this
Okay.
situation.
There's
Oh
a
my God.
cart right here,
Cart right there.
and a
Cart
cart
right
right
there.
here,
Cart right there.
and then there is a bunch of horses that are just kind of all tied up over here.
Okay. Horses.
There's roughly 6. There are 6.
I have. Saphira's talking to Cricket quietly. I have a trap. Some kind of steel tooth-like maw of a trap from the people that Garrick and I took down together. We could
big is it?
lure a few of them out. We could catch one of them in this.
I don't know. How big is a trap?
Let's go back to the others and I'll show you.
Yes.
And when we get back to the rest of the party, she's going to mention the same thing and pull out a bear trap from her bag. A
Okay.
steel bear trap.
Well, it looked like it catch one?
Garrick told me briefly how this thing works. It would probably do some damage to one of them if they step in it. We could catch them
Yes.
off guard that way.
Are we try to be quiet? Cause pain cause scream?
Just get the drop on them in general. We can distract a
Well-
few and lure them over to it and then hit the camp from the other side.
Not tonight.
No, not tonight.
In morning? Before
morning.
they leave?
Do we
I'd
have
leave
anything
one-
that can do big damage in an area that doesn't need so much targeting?
I'm not sure.
Because I can make it dark in there. Very dark.
You mean Teneto, Teneto.
I do not know Fireball.
What? Feed a book. Feed a book. Feed a book. She's gonna go to the thing and she's gonna pull out the spell book. Fida, and
Scratch
Cricket.
that. There is Fireball
bet.
in that spell book.
Yeah, Fida and Cricket found this.
He just
Fida
kind of like,
took for
just like as
Fida,
like a
you-
child,
actually-
just like reaching for it.
Fida
Tanithil,
took for
you
for
looked at this book and you put this book back.
I'm an honest little elf with my
A
eggs, and he
Tanithil.
just grabs an egg.
Nathaniel, Fida took for you. Cricket hold for safety.
He just kind of like looks at you, like eyes just kind of like hazy from being like all happy tears. And he just kind of like looks at you, he's like, "There's Fireball."
I expect to be able to use this book once in a while to learn some of
Yeah.
these things.
Does Fida
And
get
I'm
an
holding you
egg?
to that.
Does Fida get egg?
I'm not actually allowed to give those type of rights. Sorry, as a DM, I'm not allowed.
Well, the god
I'm
cannot
not
get-
surprised.
I
I'm not
love that so
surprised that
much.
he specified that.
You know, I could just cast it myself. I can
Either
read
way.
stuff from a book.
I
Fida
say
did good.
we do
That
this
would
in the
be up
morning.
to God if you're allowed to cast it
How long do you
from
I
need?
the
say-
book.
I say we do this in the morning.
How long do you need to learn this thing, Tanithil?
I need 8 hours.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wizards.
6 hours.
I don't know wizards.
6 hours.
It's 2 hours for every spell level.
Oh, well, that's good. How do you know this and I don't?
He
'Cause he's
plays a
playing a
wizard on
wizard.
Wednesdays.
I am a wizard at heart.
Oh,
He plays a wizard on
Anyway.
Wednesdays.
I can get more
It's like, we'll
detailed
do
if you
this.
want, because it depends on subclass.
he literally grabs the book and just goes, "Give me 6 hours," and then just sits down with it.
Tanithil, think about egg for Fida.
I will do this, and like as he's just like you can clearly see that he's just beginning to focus for the spell.
I will hold it against you.
But with that,
I'm just going to roll over and go back to sleep if we're sitting here for 8 hours. Get a full rest in at that point.
with Tanithil focusing on the spell, you guys finding a group of individuals of somewhat concern, we'll end it here for the night.
Okay. I
Sounds
do
good.
want
Okay.
I do want to say though, Kiki would like to scout once in a while to make sure they don't leave really early.
Same.
Okay, that works. That being said, Otter, can you close us out for the evening?
Absolutely. Make sure to tune in to the rest of the games we have coming up in the week. Tomorrow, Monday night, we have Cap running his game of the Troubleshooters. Tuesday, we have Jason's second edition Scions game of A World at War, which is heading towards the conclusion of the campaign. Things are getting crazy. Wednesday, we're back with another episode of JT's Falscalan Nights. Thursday, we're back with. Oh, excuse me. We are back with a Knight's Ransom. Saturday, we are waiting to hear back on when we're picking up for Stolen Cities. And we will be back again Sunday next week for another episode of Varinheim.
Blow some individuals that come to pieces.
And I believe we'd also like to thank D&D Beyond for sponsoring
Yes.
us, as well as Heath and Lucky Dice Cafe.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And of course, especially after sticking with us when technical difficulties arise right as we begin stream,
Yeah.
I
Of all
know.
times.
Like, oh, I really hate it.
thank all of you for sticking with us, and we hope you enjoy. We will
Thank you
bring
so
more.
much. We love you.
Uh,
You can't see
Love
it, but
you
there's
guys.
like hearts and everything coming to you guys.
Yes.
We will
woo.
see y'all next week.
See you
Have
next
a good
week.
night.
Bye.